So 2026 is right around the corner. And if we want next year to look different from this year, then let's create a plan so we can go ahead and get started now. So in this video, I wanted to talk about 3 ways that we can go ahead and start planning now. Let's get into it. Y'all, this year flew by so fast. I'm just like, dang, I can't even believe it's about to be 2026. But this is the prime opportunity for us to go ahead and get started in creating our plan so that we can be ready for 2026. So you'll have to let me know in the comments, what goals are you wanting to create for yourself so that you can go ahead and be prepared for 2026. So I did a poll on my community tab asking, what is a goal that you wanted to make sure that you finish by the end of the year? And I want to say 47% of people said that they wanted to pay down credit card debt. So let's get started in how we can create a plan. So the first thing that we want to do is get clear on what it is that we really want. So ask yourself, what credit score do you want for 2026? What kind of credit cards are you wanting for 2026? Do you have a savings goal for yourself? Really consider what are those different goals that you have for yourself. So last year in 2024, I said for 2025 that I wanted all of my domestic travel to be able to use points and cash back. And really for 2025, y'all, I did pretty good because I went to Vegas, DC, Chicago, and I used all points and cash back. I went to Puerto Rico, and I only used points for my hotel, and I had to pay for my flight. I was able to use points and cash back for my domestic travel. Now I did go to Costa Rica and I had to pay for that out of my pocket, but I did state for all of my domestic travel, I wanted to only use points. Now for 2026, y'all, I'm still trying to figure out what is my travel goal. Now for sure, I'm going to Hawaii. So right now, I'm trying to think, what credit card do I want to open, 1 or 2 credit cards, so that I can get my plane ticket paid for. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. So let me know in the comments if you have a good credit card suggestion for me. Now, the second thing is, let's create a plan. So let's say if you want to save $5,000 for the year, then you can break it down into small pieces. So you can break it down into monthly or bi-weekly goals. So first, if we say, well, I want to save 5,000 for the year, then you can say, okay, for the month, I have to save $410 or so. And then bi-weekly, I have to save $200 and some dollars for the month. And so opposed to looking at the big goal of $5,000, if we break it down into the small pieces, then it makes it a little bit easier to say, you know what, I can really do that. How can I make that a reality? Possibly creating automation for that savings goal that'll make it happen a little bit more, because you already know when that money goes into your account, you just like, yeah, I'm gonna save it. And then they say, the end of the month that came, you ain't saved not a dime. And so, creating an automation or things like that can make it better. So we really want to use SMART goals, and that's going to be a specific goal, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. And so when we're using that SMART goal framework, it really helps us to have actionable items so that we can make sure that we can complete the goal that we want to. So the last tip is, how are we staying on task with achieving our goal? And we want to make sure that we're staying organized in achieving our goal. So that means making sure that we're writing it down, we're following up with it weekly, monthly, and even bi-weekly. Do we have an accountability partner that we can check in with so that we can make sure that we are attaining our goal? But then also, are we revising our goal? Because y'all, that one time when I had paid off my auto loan, so I had a $20,000 auto loan and I paid it off in 1 year. So originally, when I had created the goal, I said, I'm going to pay off the auto loan in 3 years. And so I had got the auto loan for 60 months. And I said, well, I'm going to pay it off in 3 years. And so I wrote my goal down and I created a plan. But then y'all started crunching the numbers and I was taking a look at it. I was like, you know what? I think I would be able to pay this off in 1 year. And that's what I did. So I think it's always good to go back in and revise it, because you can come up with better ways of how you can attain the goal. And so that's why it's good to review the goal so that we can make the changes necessary so that we can be able to attain it. Because, sometimes when you are writing your goals down and then you might get discouraged and then you're not looking at it anymore. But if you just keep taking a look at it, then you can come up with better ways to do it. And some other ways that we can keep track of it is, what about creating a vision board? Because I'm definitely going to be doing that, because I've been cutting stuff out to create my vision board. And you can also drop down in the description and get my free budget and debt repayment template. Or you can go over to my Etsy shop and get my 2026 digital budget planner. Y'all, I'm really liking this digital budget planner. It has your budget, your debt repayment sheets, and I even have a bingo savings challenge to where you can figure out, well, what are the savings goals that I have for myself? So you'll have to go over to my Etsy shop and check it out. But you'll have to let me know in the comments, what goals are you wanting to create for yourself? Or think about the goals that you have for yourself in the beginning of this year. There's still time within this year to be able to accomplish your goal. So don't give up on it. But then also, we want to get prepared for 2026 as well. So let me know, what are you thinking in the comments? And do you have any other goal setting tips or any other tips that we can use to help us to be able to achieve our 2026 goals? And then, y'all, what I'm going to be doing is, for the month of December, every day I'm going to be posting either some kind of tip or poll in how we can get closer to our goals. So you'll have to come over to the channel and take those polls and look at those different posts that I have so that we can get ready for 2026. But I hope that this video was helpful. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and turn your notification bell on so you be notified when new content drops. I thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Y'all, we want to make sure that we got our finances in order for 2026. And so you'll have to go and check out my digital budget planner on my Etsy shop. Y'all, I'm very excited about it. You have your monthly budget, you have your debt repayment and your debt tracker. I'm very excited. I added a bingo savings planner to where you can put a few other things that you're trying to do. Possibly you're trying to save 1,000 or 5 or 10,000. So you can put that in there. Maybe you want to get you a high yield savings, possibly open up a Roth IRA. So you can put your savings goal in the boxes and just mark them off as you complete it. But then also you can always go over to my website and get my free budget and debt repayment template. And I even added the bingo savings for that as well. So you can drop down in the description and go over to my website or my Etsy shop.